Hello, I've been motivated to make this video. I'm not a great fan of social media, but it's a necessary thing to do because I want to appeal to people out there to support a lobby for mass testing for coronavirus in the UK. And the reason I'm asking people to lobby for that is because we're in the fifth day of my wife having all the symptoms of coronavirus, COVID-19, but it's undiagnosed, and that's because she hasn't been tested, and she hasn't been tested because she's not actually been admitted to hospital. We're self-isolating, and there's no provision for community testing. Yeah, unbelievably. We've got a national emergency which is, bringing the country to its knees, but something as basic as testing to see if you've got it is restricted to hospital. And you obviously hope you don't take that next step, but it's a possibility. But the point I want to make, and it astounds me that we've got scientists and experts and out there, and we're getting daily briefings now from the Prime Minister, but I always understood a key component of managing anything is that you can't manage what you can't measure. So to effectively manage anything, you have to be able to measure what you're dealing with, and the way you measure COVID-19 and acquire the data is through testing. Is it unsurprising that the national chair or the world chair of the World Health Organization said you can't fight a fire with a blindfold? Test, test, test. And he's absolutely right, because we're fighting a fire here with a blindfold on. We have no idea what is out there and the scale of what we potentially could be dealing with. We do know that based on China and Italy, it's bad. And they have done models which make predictions, but running coinciding with that, why aren't they testing the public? Well, they may say, well, we haven't got the kits. Well, that is a disgrace, and they've known about this potentially since December. But okay, we are where we are. The absolute requirement now is to work round the clock to get the kits to test millions of people. Yes, that's what it could come down to. But it's a national emergency requiring a Herculean effort. But if that's what it requires, that's what's got to be done. Because I come back to it. You can't manage what you can't measure. And we need to know the scale of what is out there. And we need it for two reasons. One, we need every person that potentially is tested and has coronavirus. Then the painstaking process of looking at the trail has to be done. Yes, it's going to involve a huge amount of work, but there is no alternative to doing that as far as I can see. And secondly, you need the data to crunch the numbers and to make it do anything effective from a national planning point of view. You need the raw data, which can only come from testing. By the time people are in hospital, to some extent, it's self-evident that the data, but we need to know what's going on in the community. So I'm trying to appeal to everybody to lobby their MPs, people in any institution of influence, councils, to really put maximum pressure on to say, yes, you've addressed the business community's concerns, quite rightly. Jobs and the protection of jobs has got to be top of the list. But even more important than that is the preservation of life and preventing as many deaths as possible. And we can do that if we can manage the scale of this epidemic and, yes, flatten the curve. But to flatten the curve, we need to know what is the scale of the epidemic. And whichever way you analyse this, it comes back to the fact that you've got to embark on mass testing. Now, it can be done because South Korea found themselves with the epidemic. They were second only to China, and they immediately embarked on mass testing on a scale that we're not even considering. So if they can do it, and they manufactured the kits, then surely we can do it as one of the biggest economies in the world. And if we're struggling to do it, you would think the obvious thing to do is to liaise with South Korea and ask them how they managed to do it and get any assistance necessary with producing the necessary kits to do it. But whichever way you cut the mustard on this, it's absolutely crucial within the next few days that we embark on this on a scale that's never been seen before. And it is on a scale of testing millions. But to me, that's the only way that we're going to be able to control the spread of this through hard data that comes from testing the population and then acting accordingly. So it is a national crisis, it's a national emergency, and I would appeal to anybody to put maximum pressure on their MP, on any political institution where we can have influence as people and say, we demand of our leaders that they embark on a programme of mass testing in order to fight this and ultimately save lives, because from what I've seen of it up close, it's and again it's undiagnosed, but I think that my wife had it or still got it, and it's extremely nasty, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but unfortunately tens of thousands of fellow citizens are going to be confronted with and possibly have got it already but don't know. So it is urgent. We've all got to basically at certain times of a national emergency rise up and say, this has got to be done. And so just one person in 60 million, yes, but I'm sure this experience is going to be shared more and more. So it seems to me that when I finish this video, I'm going to be lobbying my MP and asking that questions be asked about why aren't more people being tested, and as from basically today, can we ensure that we embark on a programme of mass testing? That's my message. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.